So what's the date? It's like, what, the 6th of February, 2026, ne? South Africa. 2026 of February, this week was a week, hey? It was a week. Did you see the stuff that was coming out of the Madlanga Commission this week? It was jaw-dropping stuff. But just as we reflect on the week that we had, I actually just want to ask us what, as South Africans, we understand the word accountability to actually mean. And I don't mean like the Oxford Dictionary meaning of what it means to have accountability. I mean who it is that has to account to who in South Africa when we hear some of the ugliest things that you can ever hear come out of commissions and committees, right? So who accounts to us about the mess within the SAPS? I ask that because we've already seen Senzo Mchunu, the suspended Minister of Police, account before the ad hoc committee, for instance, right? He's made himself available. People may or may not like his answers, but he was there to answer the questions regardless of what questions were given to him. He was there, he answered the questions, right? So there was some level of open accountability because we had him for hours, available to answer some of those tough questions. But this week we had a weird debate about whether or not the president should be allowed to come to the ad hoc committee and answer tough questions as well. Just if you missed it, right? This week you had members of parliament in that ad hoc committee saying that perhaps what we should do is send the president a list of questions so that he can tell us what it is that's wrong within the policing system. This is what members of parliament are arguing. They're saying that the president is not necessarily in charge of the operations of the SAPS. Those are operational issues. He's too high level to answer some of those questions. And it's all good and well if you think about like the organogram of South Africa, right? But the issue is that the crisis that we've seen doesn't have organograms, clearly. It doesn't have straight lines. We don't have straight lines in the mess that we're hearing in the Madlanga Commission. Let me show you just how blurry the lines are. We had Rachel Macheng this week. You guys remember her? Sheesh, what an auntie, eh? That lady came into the Madlanga Commission and she said, you see me, I had a romantic relationship with Vusumuzi Ket Matlala. Besichola, we are here. Me and Vusumuzi Ket Matlala. That's what she said. But let's remember who this woman is. And I actually needed to write this down because her title is important. Rachel Macheng is the section head for quality management. Listen to this. Criminal record and crime scene management at Forensic Services at Pretoria. Criminal record and crime scenes management in Pretoria, who says, Bengjola, no Vusumuzi Ket Matlala. The monies he sent me were really about the romantic relationship that she had with someone that we know was alleged to be part of criminal cartels. Where's the structure? There. The organogram, the lines. Clearly, they don't exist. That's not the only thing that shocked us this week. Musa Kaula, I'm sure you know him. If you're on Twitter, you know Musa Kaula because we go there for the juicy stories about who's dating, whose husband, who impregnated, whose wife, all of those stories. That guy, that blogger, that socialite, Mr. Hashtags, that guy we heard this week had pressure from the Department of Police. The minister, the deputy minister of police was exerting pressure, allegedly, for that guy to be arrested because he knows too much about someone, again, alleged to be part of criminal syndicates. And we saw him go to prison. That's what happened. Structure. Organogram. I get we must respect structures and organograms. But it's not happening even within the office of a deputy minister of police who can put this kind of pressure on people. But then when we want people to account, we say, no, everyone else must account. Julius Mkhwanazi must come to the commission. He must go to the ad hoc committee. Senzo Mchunu, Begi, Kele, the list goes on. But when the president must come, we say, no, he's not operational. But who ordered the political killings task team to be set up? Okay, let's clarify this again. It wasn't the president. You're right, 100%. The president didn't say, get rid of the political killings task team. He didn't even say that we must set it up. But he did say, when political killings were getting out of control in KwaZulu-Natal, it was the president who said, I'm going to establish an interministerial committee of various departments of government that are going to come together and talk to us about what we do with the growing number of political killings in the country. It was that IMC set up by the president that said, all right, let's establish a PKTT. The PKTT was set up. The IMC needs to account to the president and to parliament around how they are keeping track of the work being done by the PKTT. We heard, though, from Senzo Mchunu that the IMC was not giving regular updates, right, on when it was meeting, on the work that it was tracking of the PKTT. We hear about this IMC when the PKTT is being disbanded. Where's the president? When the police minister says, get rid of this thing, where was the president? We keep saying, no, the minister says he told the president, but where is the president to answer that very question? So the point of this is not to say that we don't have enough accountability in South Africa. What we're hearing in our country is ugly. It's disgusting, to say the very least, about the rot that has gone into the people that are meant to keep us as South Africans safe. But as we get accountability, we need, number one, to step up. We need, number one, to go into Parliament and account, not just to the National Assembly, but also to the ad hoc committee, and sit there until 9 o'clock, just like Mary de Haas did, just like everyone else did, and answer the tough questions. And if he gets tired, the members of Parliament will tell him, no, you may be tired, President, but we're going to be here for a while. So grab a glass of water, because we want to know, what were you doing since the IMC was being established? When young politicians, old politicians, ward councillors were being gunned down in our streets continuously. What were you doing? Were you checking up on those that you deployed to keep our leaders in our communities safe? Accountability mustn't have a ceiling, guys. And let's start asking for more of it.